Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester, and I'm sure you are too. You're watching content like this. The name of this channel is Manifest the Magic the Practical Way, because there are a lot of practicalities to manifesting the life that we choose. So I don't know about how things are going for you. They're going pretty good for me. I mean, I was just thinking this morning, I wake up in the midst of being grateful for everything as it is. And if something else is coming, even better, right? I have that feeling in my life, and I'm hoping you're having that feeling too, where you're exactly where you're supposed to be. But if you're not, what I want to talk about today is something that plagues all of us, whether we are where we're supposed to be or not, or we feel that way or not, or we perceive it as that way or not, is being triggered. A lot of times, well, this is a kind of a modern climate, right? To where we have this thing called safe spaces. Now, I'm all for safe spaces, right? Whenever I teach sociology courses, I'm always in my mindset thinking, remember, this is a safe space so people can share ideas and thoughts and concepts and theories and their mindsets without being trampled upon because it's different from what I believe, or it's different from what the mainstream believes, or it's different from what the other students in the class believe. So I love the idea of a safe space. But what is important to remember is that the things in life that we allow to trigger us, or the things in life that we fear the most, or that most gets us going on the inside, those things are controlling us, whether we realize it or not, right? Wherever you're triggered is where you're controlled. Bottom line. When you're able to get to the point in your life where you become neutral on a subject, that means that you have evolved outside of it, and you have grasped an understanding of it, and you don't have to continue to revisit it and allow it to antagonize or allow it to aggravate the insides of you, or you allow it to make you make decisions based on not having the feeling of whatever the feeling is, right? It's something that I realized people do. When I was growing up, everybody I was around who wanted to go to college, which I wasn't even a college person. It sounded something. My best friend at the time told me we can decorate our rooms. We'll have like our own place. And I was like, ooh, that's intriguing. So her aunt pretty much walked us through. That was the only person in her family that had graduated from college. She pretty much walked us through all of the processes, financial aid paperwork, turning everything in, because I didn't have anybody to go to for that. Nobody in my family was doing any of that at the time at all. And I was working in that space and trying to figure out who I was and what I was doing and where I was going. And the idea of being triggered or not creating something that I wanted to create and being bothered by it, that wasn't even on the table for me. Like, I didn't even think about things like that. I thought about, if you didn't like what people were doing, you either tolerated it or you just went the other way, right? The inner deep work about that never ever truly crossed my mind. So when I started early on like that, and I was always I was never in a place of contemplation, I really latched onto the ideas of you just get what you get and you don't get aggravated about it. So realizing that through that process, so I lost my thought with this. Oh yes, I remember it now. Because I was like, wait, somebody walked by and my attention got distracted. So through that process, I remember everybody talking about going to college, and they all wanted to go to HBCUs. And if you don't know what that is, it's a historically black college or university. And because they didn't want to be in environments where they weren't around people who were similar to them. And what they called similar was people that were raised similarly culturally, and people that were also black and, or brown people, right? And so I went along with that because that was just what everybody was doing. That was, yeah, this is more comfortable and stuff. But what I realized as I went through the process and I introduced myself to more spaces that were not inclusive of people that looked like me, had this similar phenotype as me, is that most of those people were running away from what was triggering them or things that made them feel negative in some kind of way. And instead of diving deeper into it and figuring that out, many people just kept going into the comfort zone and decided to stay in that environment. And I don't know what it is in some people that changes, or like a light switch that comes on. But I spent 1 year at that college and I was like, I got to get out of here. And I was thinking I got to get out because it bothers me too much to be in places where people don't look like me. And I need to figure that out, and I need to get over it, because I knew that it would hold me up, especially when I found out that African Americans made up roughly 12 to 15% of the population in a country. I knew that if I wanted to grow and expand and be something more and do something on a larger scale, that I had to learn how to be comfortable with all types of people. People that had a lot of money, people that did not look like me from the same cultural background. I had to learn how to be mutable, malleable to a degree, and to find comfort even in the places where I had discomfort. And that is what we have to do when it comes to our triggers and things that make us feel a certain negative way. What the world tells us now is to get rid of the people who make us feel triggered, right? And I'm just like, that's not useful, you know? And if you have people or places or things in your life that really just rubs you the wrong way, that really just like makes you grinds your gears, that is what's controlling what you do. So I think about all those people and saying that they only wanted to be in Black culture, African Americans, and be in HBCUs and all that. While it was very fun, you know, watching the quad and the steppers and all that kind of stuff, it got old to me, right? It was cool, but it got old. All those people saying that they want to continue down those roads, it's really just saying that they're not willing to outgrow those things that negatively impact them or bother them. This is the same thing that people have when it comes to like money. It's a big deal. I was doing a little questionnaire the other day. It's this app that me and my partner use. He's like, he gets on we downloaded the app a while ago, and we answer questions and he answers them, and then we see how much in alignment we are. And sometimes you try to answer questions about the other person, but it's called Parrot. It's not an advertisement. I don't have enough subscribers for an advertisement, but I will one day. And we used this app, and it was asking the question, what bothers you about money the most, right? Well, no, what do you fear about money the most? And I was like, why did they throw the word fear in there? Because that's not always useful for everyone, right? And what I realized is that, well, I don't have any fears when it comes to money, because I've already been in the lifestyle where I put everything on the line, and my money was razor thin, and I was 2 steps from living in a vehicle. If I chose, I mean, I had people I could go stay with, but I didn't want to do that at different times. And so I've not been back past that baseline in my life again, which is wonderful. And I really don't see that again, but you never know, you know? And I don't have an intention, and I don't make decisions or have actions that would lead me down that road again. And my mindset shifted about money in a lot of ways. But I was thinking about how if you have any fears attached to money, it will control every decision you make, everything you think you have possible or available to you. Every type of people that you interact with, people that you bring into your fold, or people that you have camaraderie with. It will impact everything like that. How you think about yourself. What is your self-esteem? What is your money self-esteem, right? You know what I mean? And so you have to keep in mind that if you are fearful or triggered about anything, I enjoyed answering the question because I realized, I was like, I don't have any money fears. I was like, I have a money bother that's always thinking, I don't want to make decisions based on having more money that go against my true nature and what I truly desire. Because it's so easy to start fearing not having money that you start making decisions and life choices that lead you down this path that doesn't resonate with you deeply. Then you find yourself being comfortable financially, but also feeling lost in a lot of ways. And it's very common even when you don't have money. But when you do have enough income and you're doing pretty well in life, you get to the place sometimes where you think like, do I even love this career? Do I even love what I'm doing? Do I even like blah, blah, blah? And it's because we get caught up sometime on the hamster wheel of, I will do whatever it takes not to be in survival mode again. I will do whatever it takes not to feel like this again, right? And we don't have the enough attached to realizing, okay, this is something that's triggering me. I need to understand it and figure out how do I get rid of that bothering me? It could be people's choices that you're bothered with. A lot of people always find it suspicious when they're really bothered by someone being homosexual or whatever. It's like, what does that do with your life? That's not your business, you know? And, you know, people can lie to you and that's not your business. Or I'm like, why are you so deeply triggered by that? Or people are deeply triggered sometimes. I especially see it in the workplace environments when someone else is getting a little bit more of something than they are. I'm like, man, that's life. That's everywhere you go. You have to understand why you feel that way. You feel triggered because you may not be living up to your best or greatest potential. So you'll start being bothered by other people who are living up to that, who are pushing and who are growing. And you're triggered because you know that you could be giving more, right? So just keep that in mind, that we get triggered by things that we know are aspects of ourselves that we need to clean up. When we become neutral on a concept or an idea or a mindset, we don't even have to adapt the mindset. But when we become neutral on it, that's when we know that we're not being controlled by that thing, right? So think about your triggers. Think about those things that you may want to see differently, but you don't see differently right now. Think about the people that trigger you and get down to the root of what is it about it that's actually bothering you, and what is it about your mindset and your ideas and concepts that you can change in order to become more neutral on the topic, right? Because neutrality is where you want to be with most topics. There's some things you're passionate about, you'll dive all the way in, but anger and unrest about it, that never helps you create decisions or create a mindset or create results that will positively impact you for the betterment of yourself, right? Anyway, I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful day, and enjoy this message. Enjoy other people's messages. One of my favorite things to do is get on YouTube in the morning and enjoy a really good message. So I hope you all like, subscribe, share with people you think can benefit from the message, and watch some of the videos I have. I have some really cool topics, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.